Yeah, well, she did say stitches get bitches, which they didn't put on the video, obviously, but it was time for her to change. It was time for her to finally go full heel. Like Dave said before the match started, she grabbed some type of object and she pops all of her inflatable tube man, and then gets on the mic afterwards and basically calls out the crowd, calls them, says "screw you," and turns full heel. Like you said, the video of the kid crying, and this is what they should have did with Roman Reigns years ago. Should have did with Roman Reigns when people were starting to turn their backs on him. Same thing was starting to happen with Bayley, and that's why they went this route with her finally turning full heel. Where do you think this goes for Bayley? Do you think this makes her become a little bit more popular, or do you think this is just she's just a placement holder for someone else?
I think they're really teasing something. It depends what happened with Sasha, but I think it's really teasing something that you would think with them doing something big, but you never know. But maybe we see Sasha. We finally get the Sasha and Bayley match everyone wanted, because they're both going to be. If Bayley goes to SmackDown, which you'd assume she would stay on SmackDown with the SmackDown title.
Right.
So I mean, would people be too upset if they finally did that? I don't know. If people care about it now, but that'd be interesting. And I don't know. I don't really think this show is really a strong show either. I mean, because the matchups they had weren't that good.
You talking about SmackDown?
Yeah, because look, Rollins and them was kind of a letdown. The six-man tag was okay, and then you had, of course, Corbin versus Shorty Gable.
Shorty Gable, man.
That match was okay too, and this match was kind of a underwhelming main event. I mean, the show wasn't that good overall. SmackDown on Fox hasn't really been that strong of a show yet. Hopefully next week,
right?
Once the draft stuff is over, we see some other big matchups built and actually give us something good. So we'll see. But and the ratings weren't strong either, or they were strong, I guess, almost 3 million. So that's still pretty good for a network show on a Friday night. So yeah,
well, you gotta put into fact here that it's on a tough night. Friday night's not an easy night, and they were going up against the game one, and the Cards and the Nats, and there was a no hitter going. So people might be tuning in to see that no hitter.
Plus I think the same situation for AEW and NXT is like once we get in November, let's see what they do, because they won't really have much competition.
Yeah, I think they're trying to catch the Becky train with Bayley's same concept. Yeah, that's a good point there, Shrew.
Maybe.
That's a good point there. She did as I wanted, murdered those Bayley buddies. She destroyed them. It was pretty good.
But I do think they need to put a better effort together on the shows, because, look, I get it. Last week was the premiere, and The Rock basically, and people were criticizing WWE like crazy today on Twitter about, oh, they lost so many viewers, they stumbled, and they got terrible. And they failed. And it was like The Rock probably brought like 1 million viewers himself. So
right,
I mean,
absolutely.
Without The Rock, I mean, boom. So I mean, I could see them averaging around 3 million or close to it, if not.
Thank you,
and that's
Jimbo.
Still good for a wrestling show on a Friday night.
Yeah, I agree. I got gifted I don't know what it was. Thank you, Jimbo. Appreciate that. All right, so now, excuse me. Before we move on to the rest of the stuff, did you see people comparing her to Dakota?
Yeah, I did, because they look similar with her haircut now. Well, yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, no, I did not see that. That's news to me right there. Interesting.
What did you think overall of the show last night?
Kind of bleh.
Yeah.
A little bit of bleh show. The heel turn was awesome. I didn't even mind the Brock and Kane stuff, but the rest of the show...
Oh, I forgot about that.
...was kind of a letdown. But like you said, they put themselves in a tough spot with this draft, and after next Friday will be the official SmackDown with the roster intact and everybody who's going to be on the show. So maybe they start building more storylines and feuds in the next couple of weeks. And also too, Crown Jewel is just around the corner, so we're not going to see a lot of crazy stuff until Crown Jewel is out of the way as well. Also, the networks will start running reruns of their shows, so the ratings should go up, says Bill. Viewership was down 1 million for their draft. They heavily hyped, says Kokina. That's true. I think they break up Fire and Desire so Sonya can shine on her own. Hey, I would not
Good
be
luck.
against that. I would not be against that at all. We have, let's see, some other things to touch on as